Okay, awesome. Okay, so how are your guys' days?
So far, so good.
Fantastic.
We get to talk
Okay.
about our favorite show ever, so we're doing
Yeah.
great.
So awesome. First question I have for both you guys. Obviously, you guys were familiar with Jurassic Park, the franchise, before you guys got your roles. When you initially got your roles for the show, what were you guys hoping for your characters?
I guess I'll go first on this one.
Yeah,
Um, man, I definitely think that, when I first got the script to play Darius, um, well, first of all, the very first script that I got was totally different from what the show is now. But but when I got the callback script, it was much too it was very parallel to how the show is now. And I think the thing that I hoped for the most was just to embody the kid that I was when I started, taping the show. Because at 12 years old, still had a bunch of energy, was always was always doing energetic stuff. My favorite hobby was climbing trees. Um, I was always in like connected with nature and always doing a bunch of energetic stuff. And when I got to play this character that had a, we'll say, quote unquote, not so popular interest, I was super excited because I knew that I would also get to learn not only this character's personality, but also things about dinosaurs and stuff like that. And going into it, I really hoped that I would be able to embody such a character that had that youthful charm and that youthful energy that he could portray onto other people. And it just seemed like a really cool direction to go in, especially with being the youngest, not only playing the youngest character, but also being the youngest person on the cast. So
And
yeah,
I love your shirt. I don't know. I guess
thank
you
you.
must like Jurassic. You must like
yeah,
Jurassic Park.
Waiting on my royalty.
All right,
yeah.
to switch over to you.
Loved it. Yeah.
Yes, I would say the same. I mean, for me, the biggest thing that I hope for, first of all, I related to Sammy very quickly. I am originally from Texas. I have a big Latino family, just like her. I'm very family oriented. I tend to be the mother hen of the group, of any friend group that I'm in. So to see Sammy on screen, she was me. And so for me, I came kind of from a representation point of view. I'm like, wow, to be able to play this type of character that is very similar to me with high energy and very talkative and just loves everyone around her. And I was like, wow, that is me. This is crazy. And I remember even auditioning for it. And I sent it in from my family's tire shop in Bryan, Texas. And I remember recording it in the corner of the room and just sending it off with an email and just being like, if I could get into this franchise in this universe, I would die. Like, this is so exciting to even be auditioning for this. And then fast forward 5 seasons later, and we're here. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's unreal. I always say it's a dream I didn't know I had, to be a part of Jurassic franchise. Like, this is just insane, and to be able to watch Sammy evolve over the last 5 seasons and grow as a person, as a character, to watch her, make mistakes and learn from them, and to see how accepting and loving she is of all the characters and the dinosaurs, and how she can be level-headed, but really a lot of times she really thinks with her heart. So sometimes she doesn't think everything fully because it's sort of a family or bust mentality for her. So she's willing to lay her life on the line every time if it meant that somebody else was okay. And so to kind of watch her grow over the last 5 seasons has just been great. It's surpassed anything that I could ever think of. My biggest thing was like, if this show is going to go longer than season one, please, Lord, don't let me get eaten by a dinosaur, so I can also go past season one as well. And so far, we're doing great. So we'll see what happens on July 21st.
I like that you mentioned that you were from the South because I was really interested in how you managed to balance your accent between Southern and your Hispanic accent as well. Did you have to work on that, or is that just something you naturally grew up with a mix of those two? Uh, uh, Not languages, but phonetics, I guess.
Yeah, no, totally. So like I said, yeah, born and raised in Texas my whole life. I've lived in LA for half my life too because of acting and being here. But being around a big Latino family, you know, you hear Spanglish and Spanish every day in my household. So to get something like that for Sammy, and on the breakdown, it said she had a Texas accent. And I like to say that when I'm around my family in Texas, my accent comes out way more. But when I'm not in Texas, you can't hear it quite as much. But when I get really excited and I talk really fast, I'll start throwing out y'alls and affixins and words of that such, and the accent tends to pop out. So I quickly realized, putting the character together, that would be Sammy, right? When she would talk really fast, get really excited, the accent would come out a little bit more. Which is funny because I have family members that just have a natural Texas accent to begin with. And then when the writer started introducing some Spanish for her to speak and things like that, it just became very natural to me to blend those two together because that's what it's like in my household. And so to be able to portray that on screen is something really special. And I have gotten feedback from other people outside of the set have said, you know, oh, that's like me and my family, or you sound like an aunt, or oh, I have a cousin that's like you, or my grandma sounds like you. And so I think that's really special to see that for sure. I love seeing her, like, you know, abuela in her Texas accent that she has. And I love getting scripts too, because, you know, sometimes Scott Kramer, our executive producer, he'll give me scripts and that I'll get ahead of time, and certain words, you know, like dinos, I'd go dinos, like the dinos and things. And so he's like, oh, I love that. He's like, yeah, do more of that stuff. And so he'll just go like, yeah, we're just gonna kind of let you do whatever accent you want to do, or, you know. And I remember getting the scripts and asking them, you know, like, you know, my aunts, you know, I'm like, would you want me to say tias, or my aunties, or my aunties, or is there a specific way that you want? They're like, well, what's natural for you? And so it was really nice to have that freedom to put a little bit of myself inside of Sammy, which was really special.
Did Sammy say Thea? I can't remember.
Yeah, she does say tia once. And then she says my abuela, and then she says or I think she says abuelita and things like that, which is great. And then there's a little bit of that in season 5 too, which I'm really excited for fans to hear.
Awesome. And then to kind of bounce off of that, Michael. Is that how it's pronounced, Michael?
Yeah, Paul.
Okay.
Well,
but
I don't even know myself at this point.
Is it Paul-Mikél?
Yeah, Paul-Mikél. Yeah, Paul-Mikél, Paul-Mikél. Either, yeah, it works.
Well, to you, Paul-Mikél. What is as far as diversity, when you decided that, or when you found out you were being brought into this project and that you were going to be essentially representing your ethnicity yourself, do you feel like that was a big thing to put on your shoulders, or were you excited to be able to do that for Black people around the world?
Yeah, I definitely feel like going into it, I was just super excited about playing Darius. And then once I got to, you know, the second, maybe third season, my mom started coming to me talking about these people that were, you know, sending me messages and saying that they related to my character, and people that were also saying, you know, we don't get enough representation in, you know, in these fields, such as, you know, people loving dinosaurs and people wanting to be paleontologists and scientists. So once I started hearing these letters and these tweets and, you know, these Instagram messages, I started getting into the fact that I also wanted to portray who I was more than my original mentality of just really wanting to play the character, because that's when I realized that I was the character. And, you know, getting to play myself, a young Black man in America, it's just amazing to me that we get this representation now, and just for colored people, you know, all around the world. So, you know, getting to play someone that, you know, loves dinosaurs and has, you know, youthful energy and, you know, displays that to all of these older kids around them. It was just like it's just a lovely experience,
Yeah, of course. Now, I think both of you guys do a great job with that.
Thank you.
And of course, now with season 5, when you guys found out that there was going to be a season 5 for sure, did you guys, what arcs were you hoping to see for your characters? No spoilers as far as what actually happens, whether it does happen, but I'm curious what you guys were hoping to see for Sammy and for Darius when you guys first got season 5 information that you were going to be continuing the show.
Man, I think that all of the campers had been through a lot, and with Darius, I just really wanted I was just so like, man, when are you gonna want to like leave? Because as we see through the first 4 seasons, Darius is super focused on saving dinosaurs. As we see, he's more in season 2. The main thing that we see is he's convinced the campers to save the dinosaurs rather than just go with Mitch and Tiff to leave the island. And in season 3, once again, we're more focused on destroying the threat to the island than actually leaving the island when we technically have a chance to. In season 4, same thing. But yeah, in season 5, I was just really expectant to finally, and we saw it in the middle of season 4 with Darius finally getting over his confliction and not only trying to manage to save the dinosaurs, but also putting time into his fellow friends and family and campers, and trying to get to the phone, contact the mainland. In season 5, I definitely want to see more of that, more of Darius taking a leadership role for the people around him rather than the dinosaurs that he is trying to save. But at the same time, I really enjoy seeing the mix that he's having of being a capable person that's capable of not only saving dinosaurs but also saving his friends, and being able to balance those 2 aspects. And yeah.
And his passion for saving dinosaurs, you know what I mean? Not just being able to, or kind of wanting to, but that's his whole thing. That's his life.
Yeah, exactly.
How about Sammy?
For Sammy, her main focus for going to Camp Cretaceous in the first place was to save her family back home in Texas. I don't think she anticipated falling in love with everybody at camp and finding a family there. And obviously, getting stuck on the island and that whole thing, I don't think anybody could have predicted that part. But as far as the last 4 seasons, we've really seen her bond with all of these kids, her camp fam for life. And for season 5, I really wanted to see that aspect of hoping she got to see her family and combine both families. Because I know that would mean a lot to her to see that. So I would hope to see that in season 5. Because again, for Sammy, everything that she does is for family. Whether it's for her family back home in Texas or for her new camp family, everything she does is wholeheartedly for them. It's not necessarily for herself. We saw a lot of in season 4 how she wasn't afraid to put herself on the line for her family back home. Once it was revealed a lot of things with Manticore and Cash and Mr. Khan and her family back home. And so I feel like for her, she didn't hesitate at all to put herself on the line for that. So I would love to see her family back home and her camp family get reunited together and get to meet each other, because ultimately that's what's been driving her this whole time is family.
Nice. And then to wrap, I just want to make sure to give you guys a chance. Is there anything that you wanted to say lastly about the show, or something that people don't ask you really quick before we wrap?
First of all, it's been a fantastic journey through all of these seasons. I personally have enjoyed it to its fullest extent. Always want to give a shout out to the crew, because they honestly don't get represented enough. Our animators, our sound designers, and all of these people that don't really get recognized because, you know, people are mainly paying attention to us, the cast, and, you know, the characters. While I do say that, I also want to give a shout out to my cast members who have helped me out through this entire journey as well. You know, Rainy, Ryan, Jenna, Sean, and Causer. That's the fastest I've ever said all of their names. But so many. But
no, everybody but Rainy. Everybody except Rainy.
Everybody except me. I'll just. Did you find out we've had beef this whole time, me and Paul?
Yeah. But yeah, just to shout out all the people that have made this experience amazing for me too, as well as, you know, all of the people that have made this experience amazing for each other. Shout out to the people that, you know, let us rent out their studios to record this, because, you know, without them, this show probably wouldn't exist either. So yeah, thank you guys so much to the cast and crew. Thank you so much to the fans for sticking with us. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, to piggyback off of Paul, I agree. You know, to enter into a franchise as big as Jurassic and come in with something new and fresh, and you hope that people welcome you with open arms is a lot of pressure, but they've welcomed us with open arms. They've been so excited for the show, and every season, you know, the fans just give us such great response, and they've stuck with us till now. And I just hope that this season 5 and just, you know, goes out with a huge bang for them, and they enjoy our love letter to them. And, you know, huge shout out to, like Paul said, you know, all of our crew, you know, from our producers, our animators, sound effect, you know, writing, everyone has just done such an amazing job. You know, the team behind it, DreamWorks, Universal, Amblin, you know, Netflix. This is just, what a great group of just everybody coming together to make this amazing project. And what I really have admired is everyone has wholeheartedly put all of their heart and soul into this. You know, from assigning press interviews like this, you know, to out there, you know, animating the show, to us doing the voices. Everyone has put all of their time and hard work into this, and it shows. For me, it shows. And this has been a dream of a lifetime, a dream that I didn't even know I had until I was here. And this show has, like, changed my life all over again. So to be a part of this is amazing. And then, you know, like Paul said, to my amazing cast, you know, we've been through it all with this show, and this is amazing. And to, you know, start our recordings pre-pandemic together in a studio, all 6 of us, to trying to do it all 6 of us on Zoom and not getting a lot of work done. So then it became 2 of us or 1 of us in our recordings. You know, we really have formed a really special bond. You know, and like Miss Sammy always says, camp fam for life. And that's what I'll take away from this show wholeheartedly.
Okay. Well, thank both of you. You guys were amazing.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate you guys taking the time.
Thank you so much.